I'm in a food coma, as usual. Lunchtime always puts a whooping on me. We're going to take and move it up in here just a little bit. A bit of light oil. Bearing kind of stuck up there. And I'm going to back it from the back side. Get the nut on there. Now it's a little bit crooked, but that'll straighten out as soon as we start pushing on it. In theory. All right, well, that went in very nicely. We'll find our snap ring. I think we put it in the bin that we put things in we don't want to lose. Wipe the old residue off from it. Listen closely as to where it flies. Make sure it clicks in, and it did both sides. Alright, there's that, and our seal. Let's see which seal's which here. I think it was the one that was laying loose in the other seal. It appears to be. We'll stick that up there. Oops. A lot of times you can start these by hand. This has a bit of a sharp edge on it. Any kind of striking device, got a wrench. Should just go get a hammer, right? Every tool's a hammer, folks. Alright, we still have the plastic piece in the middle of our bearing we have to take out. Our seal's in there nice and flush. The spring did not fall off from it, so that's good. And then I'm going to support the bearing on the inside. Pry up this little plastic piece. Be careful not to pry down on your seal. Usually I get it pried up a couple times and then just push it straight through, but hold on to your bearing. Because you don't want to, these are just double tapered bearings. And they will pop apart. Whoops. Oh, come out of there. Without going through your finger. There we go. I like to leave that in while I'm assembling it so the bearing doesn't fall apart, so it's just a little plastic sleeve. You don't need. We're going to stack some stuff up here and we're going to get our race off. Now we should be able to grab right a hold of this without a big circus here, I think. Nope, we're going to need our other one that we've modified. Same tool, but on the ends I've modified it, ground it, made it more usable for this purpose. I think it's actually a tie rod end popping apparatus. I guess we can use just the flat piece at first, just to get us started. Stick that in there. We'll at least get it going. And then we'll add our spacers, assuming this works. And it worked well. Whoa! There's the tip. It's been broke for a while. I don't want to replace it though, because then I'm going to have to regrind it. I'll probably just replace the shaft, I imagine. Take it out of my other one. There we go. And we should be able to pull that right up and off. Perfect. I'm gonna go clean this off in the parts washer, get all the metal bits off it, and then we'll press this in. This thing ain't no virgin. I'll tell you that. There was cut marks on the inside of the hub there. And I see some marks on this where she's been fiddled with. So right out of first bearing, I got myself a little bit of wheel bearing grease here to put on the lip of the seal.
Do you always use your pinky?
I do, Mrs. O.
Is that like
Have
a
you ever
special
noticed? What's that?
Is that a special professional technique?
No, it's just it was the cleanest finger on my dirty glove. So.
Memorize them.
What'd you bring me? Ooh, coffee, huh? Mm-hmm. You're so nice to me.
You gotta pay me for it.
Oh. Thanks.
What was that?
Oh, yeah. Ah, it's nice. All right, where were we? I cleaned this little guy up. Just got the shmoo off it. And we will use our forcing screw. And then we will use whatever one we use to push the bearing in. The cart's getting a little full here, folks. Found it. It's because we have to hold the bearing from the back side. All right, and we'll stick this up here, like so. And then stick the, where is it? Let's get the nut on. That's why I don't put the seals in on the back side yet, because otherwise it kind of inhibits you from getting your tool in there. And then as this starts to enter the seal, it's my habit is to just rotate it so, you know, it doesn't mess the seal up. You'll see. So we got that whole mess up there. Like I say, as it comes in, of course it's gonna look wobbly right now, so before you freak out, once it goes in, it will be straight. It has no choice but to be straight. Just kind of spinning on its own. We didn't even have to rotate it. Spin it so everybody can leave the comments. Bro, that thing's so out of round. I don't get it. Did you see the crack by the strut tower? I always get those ones. I always have cracked strut towers for some reason. Just enjoy the video, folks. So I'm gonna wipe off the grease on the inside that we pushed in, then we're gonna pop our seals in, and then we do have to clean up the face of our CV axle, which you can't see because the outer seal kind of seals against that. It's a weird bit of weirdness, but we're almost done. So try to put in the inner seal here. Make sure the spring goes on the inside. Did you get it there, Mrs. O? Mm-hmm. Did you have to do it for him?
No, he managed.
Well, that was nice. Good. Alright, that seal is in. Now we have the other seal. I think that one is started. Now I'm going to use a little bigger bigger disc because you don't want to drive this one in further, far. So that one just sits flush on the edge. So now she's ready to go, ready to be put back together. But as I mentioned, we do need to clean up the CV shaft because it seals here, you know, on the square part, and then also here on that last seal we put in. So we have to make sure this surface is shiny. Whoa, fella. Of course, it's quite rust pitted. Not much we can do about that. I think this is the failure point of many of the rear bearings on these. Looks good. I'm gonna go get some more bearing grease. I'm gonna smear that up pretty good. Give it a fighting chance. And then we'll put her together. Like I said, that's the only thing that seals out the junk from getting in. Put a little on the splines too. I guess we're right here, never sees. Bearing grease wherever you have, I guess. Got a little too much. Where's my rag? Right. I'm gonna take my strap off now. I just use that to hold it out of the way where we put the inner bushings in. Oops. Whoops. Make too big a mess. There we go. There's that. Back off. And now, we essentially are right back where we started. Almost. There's our new nut. Wrong nut. You know what though, we need to get the washer. We need to save one of them washers. So we'll stick that on there. Our lower one. I guess it really doesn't matter at this point. We'll get the bolt. Alright, we'll probably never seize it up. It's probably not really going to matter. This car does not have another year left in it, so it probably really doesn't matter, but we'll just spray it with fluid film. Through. Let's go salvage a washer. One of my buddies stopped in here. I was chewing the fat with him for a little while. We did salvage a washer there while I was talking with him. I want to try to get this back in where it belongs. Let me get some pliers. Maybe move my stinking light. There we go. We're going to open that tab back up that got kind of tore out of there. Stick that back in there, bend the metal tab back around, or what's left of it. ABS harness back up in. We'll take a blow nozzle and blow all the metal bits off the back side of that ABS magnet. Started here. No, I did put the bolt back in the lower control arm. See, I haven't tightened any of that up yet because we got to put it on the ground. I think we're good. I forgot the loop there for the parking brake cable. I put that back in. Now that it probably works, but blew all the metal off that was back there. Everything's in and good, and the bearing turns now. Wonder if this bearing's any good over here. Nope. I don't know if you guys can hear that. This car's gonna be just about as loud as it was because she needs the other bearing too. I was only instructed to change this one. I got it set down on a jack stand, as you can see. Tighten up both of the bolts. We'll raise it back up. We'll torque our hub nut. This is an 08 Forester. This one is torqued at 140. There's 140. Then some people ask me why I stake these. Well, that's just how they're designed. This style axle nut has a thin flange on it you just knock down into the keyway. So in case you're ever wondering, I'm not just going crazy. Of course, I guess it depends on who you ask. So there, just stake that in. I need a bigger cart. Put our brake drum back on what's left of the backing plate stuff here. It doesn't fit anymore. Things got moved around here, folks. Did you pull on the parking brake cable? Let me just tap on the actuator here a little bit. Make sure it's released. I don't believe that it was. So probably by jostling around, we might have gotten on the cable a little bit. I'm sure the parking brake cables are seized up. Ooh, fits like a glove. Looks like an aftermarket wheel, perhaps. Doesn't fit the hub centered too well. Pretty rotted. Almost to the dangerous point. So this baby's done. It's all over but the crying. And that is, the crying's gonna be is that we need to do the same exact process to that side over there because that bearing's quite loud. So, but I didn't diagnose this car. Like I say, this one came from another shop, so I just got paid to fix the right bearing and that's it. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put the wheel on it, ship it, see if they wanna do the other one at some point, but it's gonna be the same process. You know, just chop them off. I know I've done a video on salvaging that bolt, which is possible, but it's a pain in the neck. And you should only attempt to do that probably if you can't get, you know, the new parts right away. So anyhow, hope you guys liked it. We haven't had any good old fashioned nuts and bolts and carnage video in a while. Now I know that the Sawzall didn't make the Diablo blade look good. And I'm not a Diablo spokesman or salesman, but they are great blades. I've used lots of different blades from Lennox, the Milwaukee's, no name branders, you know, you name it, I've tried them all. The Diablos are worth it. Now that blade was quite used and I kept cutting it down, but if I grab some new one, you know, grab the new one, they're mean. Boy, they just saw through anything. They're great for stuff like that where you gotta reach in and, you know, cut the bolt and you get something like this that just reeks like gas and you can't use the torch. You just, you know, use the Sawzall. So anyhow, grab yourself some of them, worth the money. And I don't know, smooth transition, but head down there, transition down to the comment box, leave a question, comment, criticism, concern, subscribe, ring the bell. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.